rotating through the hip.
New runner.
Guys, quarterfinals is here. First time ever. I think the tests are pretty damn cool. Except for those 180 GHD steps.
Little abdo going on.
That's giving me some...
I'm not bothered with the GHDs. I'd say more the pistols.
Yeah. So let's talk about, first things first, we're going to try to get through this quick, get this out to the athletes. Order, right? Everybody's going to be talking about the order to do these in. And we will caveat, every athlete is different, and you need to know your strengths, you need to know how you recover from different events. For me, looking at it, I want to prioritize strength and power up front, and then allow yourself to grind in the higher volume later, right? So we're lucky on the West Coast. We have the opportunity to do this now, right? Have a good chunk of the day ahead of us. So what a lot of our athletes are going to do is they're going to start with event 4 rep max squat. They are then going to do event 5, which is the snatch burpee. And that will allow them to try to optimize those scores and gives them the flexibility to go back on Sunday if they need to do event 5, repeat it if they think they can get faster. They will finish their day, so they'll do 4 and 5 kind of back to back. That's how we normally train, is with a big lift, and then they do some conditioning afterwards. And then they'll come back, they'll take a little rest, and then they'll do event 1 tonight, right? So 4, 5, 1, all knocked out on Thursday for our West Coast athletes. They will then, on Friday, they'll do event 2 in the morning, mid-morning, like 10:30 a.m. And not before midday. They have to do it before midday. And then they'll submit their scores for 1 and 2 tomorrow, just before noon. Right, so that gives them 4 in the can. They will either do their final event, which is the wall ball row. They'll either do that on Friday afternoon if they feel good, or they'll wait and they'll do it Saturday mid-morning, right? And this is where, especially I think, knowing yourself as an athlete, is some athletes, like if you were to tell me to do the 180 GHDs and then do the wall balls the next day, that would terrify me because I know how sore I would be the next day. I would be more likely to do them later that day so that the soreness hadn't really hit. And so I would suggest that those athletes will do the GHDs, which is event 2, and then they'll do event 3 later on Friday afternoon. And that is then done, right? They then have Saturday to rest. If they feel like on Sunday they can, recover and put up an even better score on the snatch burpee than they did today, then they have that option on Sunday morning, submit their scores, and hopefully move on from there. Right?
Agreed.
Yeah. So that's order. Let's talk about the events though. So we'll kind of tackle them in the order that we talked about. 4 rep max front squat. What are you guys thinking? Maybe general percentage that you think people are going to hit of their 1 rep max?
85. Yeah, I was thinking 85 to 90%. The 4th rep is going to be a grind. Everybody's tested 3 reps. 4 rep just adds one more thing to it. We're going to see a lot of really ugly 4th reps.
Oh man, there's going to be some pooping dogs.
There's going to be people whose strength endurance is better in relation to their maximal strength.
Which is normal.
Typical for
CrossFitters are going to be on the high end.
Yeah, you're going to see CrossFitters hitting like 90-95%, and then it'll be crazy numbers. But yeah, like someone who's got obviously the more load that they move, the probably 85%. But I think like a lot of CrossFitters are going to be like 85 to 90%.
Yeah. Just a quick note for athletes, like you guys are talking about how you would do this, but I would not do 4 reps in my warm-up sets until I got to the weight that I thought was going to be my opener.
Yeah.
So
like safe one opener.
Yep.
1 like kind of a reach, and then 1 go for the goal.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And I think even though you've got that 20-minute window, that's exactly what Holden says. How I would approach it is like once you turn on the camera and introduce yourself, I would hit my safe opener, right? Not safe. It's going to be like it should be a challenge.
80% probably.
And your second second one, in my mind, should be like
Right
50-50, like
Yeah.
Whether or not you're going to
grind
make
it through.
it.
Yeah.
And then maybe you get one more attempt based on how you felt on the,
Yeah.
So I don't see anybody filming a 20-minute video
No.
for that thing.
No.
I would just give myself like 3 attempts and be done.
Yeah.
With it.
I think a point with the 4 rep max as well is like you can work up to your single before you do event 5, and if you're not feeling great, then you could leave it to the afternoon as well, and then try and hit it again before you hit event 1, or even before you hit the GHD workout, which our guys are going to do tomorrow morning. I think like I think the most important thing is like you want to try and hit that 4 rep max before you do all those GHDs and pistols, and like so you have. Like if you're feeling good, then hit it as your first event. But if you work up to your single, you're like, I just don't feel right, then you can hit your next event, whether that's 5 or whether that's 1, and then come back to it before you have to submit tomorrow. So I think that's a good note for the 4 rep max there. But it's the best way to start.
Yeah, fun event. So event 5, I think you're gonna see some blazing fast times.
Yeah.
Man, we've got 2 girls here.
It's pretty similar to the regionals workout with the snatch burpee, but now we add the box in. It's just the only thing that's slightly different.
Right.
So.
But between Danny Spiegel is not
Yeah.
afraid of that barbell at all, right? And Reagan, I mean, snatched 200 at games a couple of years ago. She should move quickly through that also.
I think for the majority,
Yeah.
though, it's gonna be maybe you do a few touch and goes, and then you're gonna start doing quick singles, so you cannot waste time in box jumps.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think a majority of athletes will go quick singles on
Yeah.
the barbell.
Do you think there's going to be a huge difference from guys to girls because of the same size of box?
The girls do 30.
Yeah.
30-inch box for the ladies too. Interesting.
Oh yeah.
So do you think that's going to be a big difference?
I think that'll make a little bit of a difference. It'll slow the girls down.
Do you think
those
do you think
But I think they'll be relatively faster on the snatches.
So do you think
Yes.
do you think that you'll see more people go unbroken? More females go unbroken on the barbell
because they're going to go slower on the box. Yeah, probably.
And the guys,
especially stronger females.
and then the guys are going to be faster, probably
on
through
the box,
and then forced to do
singles
more singles
on the
barbell.
I can see that for sure.
Because I think like with the increase in height might be
Yeah, before I would have given it to the girls, and now that definitely changes
the same
stuff a
size
little
of
bit.
box.
Yep.
Cool. Let's get through event 1. I know we got athletes waiting on us out there. So
Handstand push-up.
event 1, handstand push-up, the dumbbell hang power cleans,
Bicep curls.
the bicep curls, and double unders. I mean, this is
I think it's like the same as what we spoke about in the final open event. This is what our guys have trained for.
Yeah.
Like they're so
Yeah,
used to doing
intervals.
events.
Yeah.
Like they're so used to doing
Power output, right? Yep.
Yeah,
three rounds and then 3 rounds of the next one.
I think the fact that you can go, I mean, the fact that you're going to keep those second sets is going to mean that there's not
It's gonna be
those strict
fast, I think.
those strict handstand push-ups don't really play as big a role. Like if they
with
if
only
they're-
10 of them.
yeah.
It's going to be quick. I
Yes.
think people are going to be burning through that.
Yeah, it's gonna be unbroken, and it's gonna be moved directly to your path, and then you don't mess up. Don't
mean,
trip
transitions
over
I
are
one.
think
big on
setup
that.
and transitions is important. on
Yeah,
that
very
first part.
important because it's going to be very quick, especially amongst top athletes. Nobody's going to break on any of the handstand push-ups. The dumbbell shoulder overhead is not. It's only 10 reps. That's not enough to.
Well, and if
it's
I'm-
not enough to really fatigue.
If I'm
you
correct,
back
it
to
was
the-
a 36-inch box in the past, and now it's 40 for the handstand push-up. Is that right? So some
Yeah.
people are just gonna block.
This is
it.
great for Bryce.
Flat through. Awesome. Yeah, cool. So that would take our athletes through day 1.
Day 1.
Day 2, they're gonna go. I mean, to me, this is the one that you plan around, right?
Yeah.
Like this is the workout that is going to hurt. It's a longer workout. Starting with 60
grind.
GHD
It's a grind
sit-ups
all the way
just
through.
doesn't make anything fun after that. And I mean, for those of you guys that haven't done rope climbs off of GHDs,
It's
you
tough.
probably didn't realize how much you use your abdominals in your rope climb. But on that rope, you're essentially hanging straight arm and pulling your knees all the way up. You're gonna see rope climbs way slower than people would expect on
People
that.
who are making it consistently in like 1.5 pulls are going to be closer to like 2.5 pulls,
exactly.
or
I think
more
those-
3 pulls.
I mean, those pistols as well. Like anyone who does who's not
the
efficient
pistols are
pistols,
going to
they
blast
blow up
your
your
legs before going on the
but
GHD.
they also blow up a lot of people's backs.
Yeah.
So like going
It's
from
gonna be super
with
big
GHDs, like if you're not efficient at GHDs and you've not accumulated volume, like your back, your midline's going to be fatigued, and then rope climbs again. That pull and
you're
stuff.
already jacking your hip flexors,
And then
you're bent over in the pistols.
And then going back to those pistols as well, like those pistols, I think it comes down, for the top guys, it will come down to the speed they can get through those pistols.
Yep.
Because
You'll
I think
see some
that
athletes blaze through
I
them.
think that's right, and I think the temptation is going to be to pace the pistols to slow down because you're trying to regain some composure. And the best athletes in the world, I mean, Kristen Holta loves pistols.
Yeah.
She will fly through those pistols. Somebody like Carrie Pierce, who's really good, like those athletes are going to slam through that.
I think it's really important you get a good warm up, and it's focusing on the pistols more than anything.
Yeah.
And then to jump to the final event, what we would say would be the final event was test 3, 120 wall ball shots and 120 calorie row. I think this is actually a really interesting event.
Mental.
Yeah, it's all mental because if you start with the wall ball shots, I mean, most of these athletes could go unbroken, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they should or not. I think every athlete's gonna, because if their legs are dead, moving to that row is gonna be tough.
Should have the ability.
Yeah, they have the ability, right? But you know, the interesting thing is once they get on that row, it's all go. There's no transition, right? And so then it's just a pain tolerance test, right? So it's how fast are they willing to push?
I mean,
how much are they willing to hurt?
males are probably going to be averaging around 20 to 22 calories per minute, I'm guessing, coming off the wall balls. So you're going to be on the rower for 5+ minutes.
So the interesting thing about this workout is, like we've talked about in the past when we've done workouts that have like a buy-in of like burpees or wall balls and then go into a row, is that calories benefit the bigger guy. So like if it was meters, then I think the wall balls play a bigger role in how fast you do them. But the fact that it's calories, I think
people have better power output.
I think the calorie you could do more damage blowing yourself up in the wall balls because it's calories, because it's harder to pull calories, whereas in the rower when you start moving it's rocking out meters. But if you think about it, if you take maybe 1 or 2 breaks on those 120 wall balls, but you feel fresh going on the rower, those calories can count over really fast. Yeah. So I think it's actually like be aggressive on the wall balls, but know like, hey, like I still want to have plenty left in the tank to push that row because you can make up calories really, really fast.
So would you say that's more of a deal for the guys since they have higher power output on the rower? The girls is the long row.
I think the girls it's like it's more so like it will play the wall balls play a bigger role on it because they've not got they're not able to pull as hard, so they're going to tick over a lot slower. But like I think the guys should be aggressive on the wall ball, but not to the extent where they could be losing a lot of time on that row.
Awesome. Well, I think they're great tests. I feel confident our athletes are prepared, and excited to see people's scores, and let us know if you guys have questions.
I'm going on, bro. It's on the wall balls, and then rowing 1400.